What's up, guys? I'm Tamtu for Zoomin TV Games. I'm here with Jan Klose from Deck 13 for The Surge. Jan, how has Gamescom been for you so far?
Very busy, and I hope I still got some of my voice left. We'll see.
All right, so you've been working on The Surge for a little while now. Before that, you worked on Lords of the Fallen. How much of that experience have you carried over to this, and what can you tell us about The Surge?
Well, basically, we really want that people who play Lords of the Fallen feel right at home when they start the Surge. But then it stops. Then you say, wow, what's that? And what am I doing here? And what's this all about? So it's really something totally new, but we really want to still focus on this close combat, tactical fighting, this duel-like fighting that you have there, so that you really in there, and like the basic experience is you go in there, you try to attack the enemy, you die, you say, what was that? Okay, but I was maybe a bit rushing things, so now I'm more careful. You go back in there again, and then you say, okay, now I can dodge, and oh man, I died again, but I found out how to do it, and maybe third time you kill the enemy, and you got this learning curve, and that's what we really want to have, and really pull through the whole game. So we want to keep it very challenging. Maybe not open it up that much as Lords started, where you could really start with a bulky hero. You were very, very slow, or you had the lightning fast rogue, but you were killed by the first boss in an instant. So we want to channel that a little bit. So you can pick all the stuff, but later in the game, bit by bit, there will not be a tutorial or something. You'll just go through the game and experience things coming at you at a certain pace, and you get stronger and stronger as you play.
So what exactly is the setting of The Surge, and what kind of character progression do we have?
So basically the setting is a kind of dystopian future, but it's a near future, and it's not empty and dead like The Last of Us or Mad Max or something, but it's more we try to figure out when we take the trends of today, in technology, robotics, science, also whatever climate and so on. What will happen if we don't care about it, if we just let it slip? What will happen in 30, 40 years? And we paint a very grim picture of that, a really grim picture of that, and that's what we put the hero into. And as the name Surge hints to, there's something going through the whole kind of environment where we are that is more or less deadly, so there will be a lot of fighting in the game, but you'll also meet other characters, and in terms of character progression, you're not really a hero, and you're also not really the anti-hero who is an ex-GI and he got to figure out, but he's just the bad guy. No, you're really someone who's been thrown into the situation, doesn't know what to do, needs to find out how to survive, picking up stuff, using makeshift weapons and finding their way through the game as the player does, saying, what is this about? What am I doing here? Why is this all happening?
So how linear is the story, and how does the character interact with the NPCs in the game?
So the story is really, it does have one line where you can go through the game, but it's not like an Uncharted cinematic experience, but we really want to boil it down to you're the player and you play and you stay in third person and you go through the game and you do what you like to do first. So it's really a lot about going back to the gameplay, even more than we did with Lords, and let the player set the pace and let the player do what he likes to find out. And there's a lot to find out. Lots, we already tried to make the levels a bit versatile. You can go here and there, you can do find out shortcuts and so on. And here, because we try to listen to what the players like, we try to expand that to really say, okay, we want to have more non-linearity there, levels that are really more strange to explore and lots of stuff you can find. And also, because we know that right now at the beginning we can shape the whole world like that. So it's a bit like opening up, it's more like Zelda or something, where the world gets bigger and bigger as we play. But it's really we got some hub-like level parts where you cross through every now and then. You'll find stuff like doors where you say, what's this door? I always walk past it, but I cannot open it. And then you get new skills, or really literally a key, and then you say, ha, there was this door, and then you cross it again, and you can open it and find some treasure. Or you don't care, and the door stays closed for all of your gameplay, and you don't need to open it.
So exploration-wise, it seems the scope is pretty big, but what are you doing about a player's play style? If they have a certain preference for really diving into combat or just being stealthier, what do you have to offer for that?
So yeah, there's a lot that you can equip your character with, lots of different weapon classes that you can use, and really playing styles, like skills you can acquire. So we don't have like really traditional classes where you say, okay, I pick this, but you can pick certain like predefinitions where you say, okay, I'm more like the stealthy player, I want to have light armor, I want to be quick, I want to hide in the shadow. You can do that. Or you say, okay, I want to be bulky and I want to have protection and I want to have a strong weapon. You can do this. But you'll pick this up as you go through the game. You say like, there's like kind of two weapons that you need to pick one. And you say, okay, whatever, use like the heavy one or the fast one or whatever. And lots of these like situations in the game, and this is what shapes your character. So there are really like spots where we say, okay, now pick which way do you want to go. And of course you can mix and match a lot of stuff there.
So how was it transitioning from a fantasy setting to a more sci-fi setting then, design-wise and coming up with new weapons and everything? How was that for you?
Well, basically, we totally love the fantasy setting. We love that. So we did other games in the fantasy setting before, like Venetica, and we really love the setting. However, also if you've done this a couple of times, it feels a bit like a relief when you say, okay, now we can just invent whatever we like. It just needs to fit together in itself. You know, it needs to be coherent, but we don't need the kind of stereotype stuff that you sometimes find in a fantasy game. And like if you just did it, then you thought, oh, it's pretty cool what we did, or maybe, yeah, a bit cool. And then you say, let's not do it again. Let's try something else. And this is really like from a creative point of view, it's cool. The level designers can say, no, we have something completely different in mind. And so this is very nice. I mean, it's a bit rare, I think, that you have close combat in these environments. Yeah. You get shooters a lot there, but you don't need to, especially if you have an explanation in your world, which we have, and I'm not allowed to tell it yet, why there's like, it's not like a military setting, it's not warfare, so there's not a lot of guns around. So you will have remote weapons to use, but you will always come back to close combat. You cannot do this game without close combat. And that was a bit tricky from the standpoint of transitioning in the genre.
So when can we expect to see more of the Surge?
So I think it'll take a couple of months before we'll have like the first gameplay demo that we can publicly show, and the game itself will be out, I think, earlier in 2017.
Okay, for which platforms?
For PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.